This is Andy Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by lightweight sensation Keyshawn Davis over Zoom. Keyshawn, always a pleasure. How are you? It's fight week.
Man, I feel good. I'm excited. You can see it. I weigh like 138 right now. Let's talk about that.
You must be knowing that only a few more pounds to shred. Yeah, obviously you've been quite active throughout your career so far. Patera, the next man in front of you, come Saturday night. Walk me through why you feel this is the right fight at this stage in your career.
Shoot, Top Rank did a hell of a job, man. I feel like every fight they chose for me was the right fight at the stage of my career. I feel like the only fight that kind of like, was kind of like too early. I would say like my third fight, the dude was actually real good. And I had to go back and watch. Like this dude was good, but I still beat him up. But I feel like Patria, for this time in my career, he's gonna be like one of the guys that's gonna make me think the most. I feel like Patria is coming with some sort of IQ. I feel like he's a hell of a counter puncher. He loves to go to the body, and he let his hands go. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, I would think like he's a complete fighter. I'm not saying he's the best at what he does, but like he got like the package. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like for this fight this Saturday, the most skillful is gonna win.
Patera is obviously very well known on these shores because he's fought a few British fighters in the past, and he's fought across the continent as well. With that in mind, what type of statement do you feel it does make on the US scene if you are successful on Saturday night and you get your hand raised?
Well, just for the people that's watching, they don't know that. They don't know what he did, and they just know that he's a 32-year-old guy, his record, and he's fighting me. You know what I'm saying? So if I go in there and stop this guy for the casuals, that's all I need to do. If I go in there and beat this guy up for 10 rounds straight, that's all I need to do. Like say if I didn't, stop Yicket, but the way I was beating him up, I had the crowd into the fight the whole time. They was loving it. When I gave him the brick to the belly, that was just a cherry on top. You know what I'm saying? So if I go in there and just beat this guy up for 10, 12 rounds, I know the fans are just gonna love me for that.
Keyshawn, is it on like when you look at your division, and even if you look at the weight above, there's some fantastic names now. Certainly lightweight, super lightweight, probably the most talked about divisions within the sport currently, with the exception of what's taking place next weekend. With that in mind, and where you are in your career, where you want to get to, where everybody expects you to get to, when you step between the ropes, do you feel like you want to continue to make those statements and try and accelerate yourself towards those big high-level fights?
Oh yeah, definitely. Since I was an amateur, like I was a standout amateur. Like I always say like I'm not in this just to be good at it. Like, I'm in this to be the best. I think that'd be going over people's head. Like I think people just be thinking I'm talking. Like I was a stand when I was before I got on that Olympic team, I was a standout amateur, and there was guys in front of me, but guys already knew I was gonna get on that team. What happened? I got on that team, and I became the standout amateur, like I said I was gonna do before I did it. And now that I'm pro, I get a lot of criticism for things that I say that I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna take what comes with it, but at the end of the day, I know what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna be a standout pro. I'm gonna be one of the best champions y'all ever seen. From whatever weight class I go to, it don't matter. I'm gonna be one of the best fighters y'all ever seen, and that's what I know.
How much of a niche do you get to try and move as quickly as possible with your career when you hear all those other names being spoken about? And I know you've spoken there about how well Top Rank have guided your career so far, but I'm sure in your own mind, you're ready to compete with those top names. It's just the right kind of levels to step up and get him around under your belt and what have you that you feel like you need to come through.
Shoot. Say that one more time. I'm sorry. Ask that question one more time.
How quickly do you want to see yourself progressing so then you are then facing the likes of the Devins, the Tanks, I know Shakur's your boy, but just putting him in there.
How quickly do I want to move? I don't think it's about the speed of how I move. I think it's about playing chess, being smart, going around things to get to that. You know what I'm saying? Like fighting this fighter so I can beat in a certain rankings, knowing when something happens, I'm gonna be right there to grab the belt. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just really just about being smart. I feel like I'm already in the position that people see like, okay, yeah, he can fight 12 rounds. Okay, he possibly could be a world champion. You know what I'm saying? I already checked off those boxes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all about getting into that position. So when them shits get vacant, or I would just be in a position to call out a champion.
One name outside of champions who you'll know very well from the amateur scene made his pro debut last weekend, Andy Cruz. What did you make of his time between the ropes?
I feel like it was a good debut. I feel like for me, he kind of like showed me what I expected, honestly. Like I knew for fighting him, I knew like he got great defense. Like, his defense is his best attribute as a fighter. And I just wanted to see how much offense could he bring. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew Burgos wants to come for a fight for real. But as an amateur, he was always just like countering, backing up on his back foot, making guys running the shots, making them look stupid. But as a pro, I'm knowing you're gonna have to like step to guys, especially if you want to get these guys up out of there. So I was looking for his offense, how good his offense is. And to me, it's average. I feel like his defense carrying him through the fight, because if you don't get hit, then how you gonna win? You know. But I feel like if we just talking about like a complete fighter, definitely got some things to work on. Definitely got a lot of developing to do. You know what I'm saying? But as a pro debut, it wasn't bad at all.
When you link your two names, obviously, and you look at Andy Cruz in that fight in particular, it was a dominant performance. But one thing people picked up on, he never quite looked like he carried much power in the fight. Obviously, you've been very explosive, you've been exciting, you've stopped many of your opponents. With that in mind, do you feel like when you watch Andy Cruz and you see yourself, if you was to share the ring with him, certainly now, your power could be a big difference?
I think it would be everything for me. Like if you go back and watch me and him fighting amateurly, like the fights, every fight was like, it just shows like we there at IQ, we there in defense, we there in offense. Like we're both complete as fighters. In an amateur fight, somebody got to win. So now that we pro, we got more rounds to do things. We got just more of everything. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I feel like my athleticism definitely is going to carry over the fight. My explosiveness, my power, my speed, my strength. He's really like a 130 pounder. He's not 35 for real. So I think I would really go in there and just bully him. I'm not saying like it'll be an easy fight, because like I said, he got good IQ and his defense is great. But I still see me going there stopping this guy like round 8, round 9. You know what I'm saying? Just being too small, just bullying him, just almost doing whatever I wanted to.
Keyshawn, we know Eddie spoken previously before this weekend took place about trying to make that fight for his debut. Obviously, that's not happened, but how far off do you think a fight could be from you two being agreed and renewing that amateur rivalry?
Just off, if we just talk about his debut, far, far. I beat the I beat the shit out of Burgos. He just made Burgos look stupid because of his defense. You understand what I'm saying? Like I beat the shit out of Burgos. Like he didn't really like, he ain't show no excitement. All like I feel like the only reason why people still like mentioning that is because he is a gold medalist and he is Andy Cruz. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't really excited in there. Like he ain't really show like, wow, that was nice. Like it was not one time when we was like, wow, that was nice. Understand what I'm saying? Like when you watch me, come on, it'd be like, damn, like, or dang, he got hit with that shot, or dang, he just knocked him out crazy. It's something with me. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that's the difference maker. That's the difference maker. Like I got more to me than Andy. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like honestly, Andy, like he's a great fighter. He's probably gonna keep winning and stuff like that. I just think he can be boring. He's gonna be a boring ass fighter.
Keyshawn, before I let you go, just want to get your thoughts on a few fights. Obviously, the main event for you this weekend, George Kambosos, Maxi Hughes. What's your take, please?
I'm going for George, man. I'm definitely going for George. Fan of George. I think George is a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a heart of a lion. He's not scared of nothing. Like I'm a fan of George. Like he a good person too. You know what I'm saying? Good head on his shoulders. Outside of that though, I really just feel like he's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? I feel like George Kambosos can fight. And shoot, I would, you know me, I love that winner. I love the winner out of those two. But just being realistic, like definitely wait my turn. if the opportunity presents itself, I'm gonna take that fight so fast. I would love to fight the winner out of them, which I think is gonna be Kambosos, but I expect him to go in there, look great, and you know what I'm saying, whatever happens after that, you know, take it up to God.
What would you rather, if I was to put this to you, Keyshawn, say George wins and you're fighting whether it be there or in Australia, or say if Maxi wins, potentially come to the UK and fight in the UK?
Which one would I rather?
Yeah.
I feel like both fans are great fans in the atmosphere, but we all know the UK is legendary for that. Understand what I'm saying? Like Australia sports, you know, they got great sports out there. Like they all support and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But like if we talk about the UK in boxing, that's kind of what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I would pick the UK for sure. But I would love to go to Australia. Australia is beautiful.
You could have plenty of options on the horizon, Keyshawn. I was going to get your thoughts as well on Shakur Stevenson's current situation. We've seen that Mauricio Sulaimán's confirmed that he's given Devin Haney until tomorrow, I believe, to make his mind up whether he wants to pursue a Regis Prograis fight and move up, or he'll face Shakur Stevenson, his WBC mandatory. How do you feel a potential fight there between Devin and Shakur plays out, or Devin and Regis Prograis?
This definitely something new to me. I ain't know that, but let's start with Devin. Devin, and you said Devin and Regis.
Yeah,
I feel like Devin off Regis' last performance. I'm just going off his last performance. Well, both their last performances was iffy. Shit. But anyways, damn, shoot. I got Devin winning that fight. I don't think Regis is as sharp as Lomachenko. He just got the youth, and that means a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I got Devin winning that fight. I just feel like he's a smarter, slicker boxer, of course. I don't think Regis got a lot to offer. But I can't just say that because when Teofimo, and these two different fighters, but shit happens. When Teofimo fought Senator Martin, he looked so bad. But when he fought Josh Taylor, everybody counted him out because he looked bad. But then he showed up and beat the hell out of Josh Taylor. Same thing can happen with Devin. So I think Devin will win that fight. I mean, shoot, I think the same thing can happen with Regis. Like he had a bad fight his last fight, but he probably can step it up for Devin. So I mean, like, I'm kind of like, I'm just going with the slicker boxer. You know what I'm saying? Devin and Shakur. I feel like Shakur is the smaller fighter, but I think he's a smarter fighter and sharper. You know what I'm saying? I just knowing them two guys, like I've been knowing these guys for years. Like we done played basketball, 24 Fitness before we had buzz in boxing, before they was who they are. Devin always looked at Shakur like a big brother. You know what I'm saying? So if they was to fight, the big brother is gonna win.
And just very quickly, Spence-Crawford next weekend. Obviously, I know Terence again. You train alongside him, but how does that fight play out? It's one which everybody's looking forward to.
Ooh, how did that fight play out? I think Terence is gonna win, but I think Terence is gonna stop Earl. I think Terence fuck around stop Earl.
Right, that is perfectly put there, and we can move on now, Keyshawn. Appreciate your time. Obviously, good luck on Saturday, and thank you for speaking to me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.